When little children go out to play basketball these days, it seems most pretend to be Michael Jordan. And why not? He's become an icon of sports and television. They're two tiny windows onto the world, and thus he dominates their imaginations. But that is myth. And down here, well, that's basketball reality. Imagine what it's really like to be Michael Jordan. Imagine being assigned to the opposing center, giving up 50 pounds and 7 inches. Imagine that in the marquee matchup, he doesn't have to guard you, but you have to guard him. Imagine that every time your team trails by a basket with 10 seconds to play, you have to take the shot. And then in overtime, there's no time to be tired or injured or to want help from a teammate. It's you they're watching all over the country, all over the world, in fact. It's you they expect to win the game. Playing 52 minutes of a 53-minute contest, you're still required to make this kind of exclamation point at the finish. So, even as the children say, "I'm gonna be Michael Jordan someday," you wonder if somehow, amid the injuries, the fatigue, and the expectations, he'll find a way to be Michael Jordan again tonight.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1991 NBA Finals. Tonight, Game 4 between the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers.
The Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California, home of Magic Johnson and his Lakers, who trail the Chicago Bulls 2-1 in the NBA Finals. A big question surrounding today's game is the health of Michael Jordan, who injured his big toe in Friday's overtime Chicago win. Jordan arrived at the Forum a little less than 2 hours ago and appeared to be limping slightly. As for the Lakers' condition, they're trying to halt the surging Bulls here at the scene of so many past Laker glories. The Laker franchise has won 11 NBA titles, 5 in Minneapolis and 6 in this building as the LA Lakers. The Bulls, meanwhile, are in pursuit of their first ever NBA title. Today, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Forum. Bob Costas with Pat Riley. First item of business, a check on Michael Jordan. We go courtside to Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Bob. The big story here is Michael Jordan and the condition of that right big toe. Now, on Friday night, he sent this game into overtime with this shot, but he injured his right toe by jamming it, and he also sent himself to the bench in a lot of pain. He was able to finish the game on Friday, but Saturday he did not practice. He did not get on the foot. He had therapy, kept his foot in ice and electrical stimulation. Yesterday morning, to this morning, he was able to put on a shoe and said he was in a lot of pain, but it's the kind of injury that you can't do any more damage to it. It's just the matter that how much pain can he play with? He's altered his shoe by cutting the toe out of the shoe to take the pressure off of it. So he'll be trying to go. The last thing he told me was, in a game like this, the last guy you got to worry about is me. So we'll find out. Bob?
All right, Ahmad, on to the Lakers. Here are the tangible Laker problems. Down 2-1. Byron Scott, a missing person on offense. James Worthy hobbling, not 100%. A.C. Green and Terry Teagle giving them next to nothing off the bench. This despite the good play of Sam Perkins and Vlade Divac leaves Mike Dunleavy in the 2-1 hole. But what about the intangibles?
Well, I think the first thing they should do is try to step on Michael Jordan's toe as he's driving down the lane. But Sam Perkins, Bob, made a great statement yesterday. He said every time the Lakers win, it's because of their experience. Every time they lose, it's because they're getting a little bit too old. I don't think either one of those things has had anything to do with the series thus far. When it comes down to the reason why you win or lose, there's an old saying, and it's this, is that hard work won't guarantee you anything, but without it, you don't stand a chance. And unless the Lakers step up in the rebounding department, step up in the loose ball department, blocking shots and taking hard fouls, then I think they could be facing a 3-1 deficit today.
Here's one more possible hidden problem for the Lakers. Magic Johnson, one of the great go-to guys in the history of sports, will be 32 in a couple of months. He played more minutes this year than at any time during his 12-year NBA career. Check these statistics. Through the first rounds of the playoffs, we're going to look at it right here, his turnover to assist ratio, first 12 playoff games, 3.7. That's exceptional, even better than his outstanding regular season. But in the finals, The assist to turnover ratio is 2.2, and he's averaging 5 turnovers per game. He's not only been outscored by Michael Jordan, which was expected, but Jordan has more assists. Is it possible at this stage that Magic Johnson is feeling the fatigue? That's been the trend of the last few nights. We'll send it courtside to Marv Albert and Mike Fratello as we get set for tip-off following these messages and a word from your local stations.
75-degree day in Southern California. The crowd still filing into the Forum in Inglewood for Game 4 of the best of 7 NBA Final Series. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Mike Fratello. And Mike, and the Bulls come from behind victory over the Lakers on Friday night. The most alarming statistic from the LA point of view, the fact that the Bulls out-rebounded the Lakers by the count of 46-29. The 29 rebounds, a record low for an NBA Final Series.
Marv, no question, one area of concern is rebounding for the Lakers. But this goes back to the Portland series, where in both losses, they were out-rebounded badly by the Trailblazers on the glass. In 3 games versus Chicago, they're being out-rebounded by 7 rebounds per game. But the other area of concern is Byron Scott. In the 3 previous playoff series, he's played outstanding, shooting well over 50%, averaging 16 points per game. So far, only 4.7 points per game while shooting 21%. If the Lakers are to win today, they need to rebound better, and Scott needs to produce.
And the Bulls are demonstrating they are not strictly a one-dimensional team. It is not only Michael Jordan. They have certainly done it at the other end of the court, where they have played outstanding defensively.
The Bulls have been a consistently good defensive team throughout the regular season, but even better in the playoffs, and especially versus Los Angeles. The pressure has been relentless, in particular against Byron Scott and Magic Johnson, who's shooting 45%, while the rest of the team is shooting 46% overall. Exactly the same as the regular season, the Bulls are producing 10 steals per contest, which have led to a number of easy scores at the other end. And then one more area of frustration for Los Angeles is the block shot, which seems to show up at just the right time for Chicago. The Bulls rely on speed and quickness at the defensive end. But remember, a year ago, Detroit won its 2nd world championship by holding Portland to just under 95 points per game. Chicago's holding the Lakers under 92 points per game.
Now, moments ago, we heard Ahmad's report on Michael Jordan's jam toe. Well, there's also concern on the Laker bench about James Worthy. For more on that, let's go to Steve Jones.
Right, Marv. Here in Los Angeles, James Worthy is known as Big Game James, and he has been ailing since he gave them a huge game in Chicago. Worthy has gotten progressively worse. I spoke to him. He said he's able to deal with the mental pain, but he's not being able to be as explosive. He is going to play. He's been treated right up till game time. So the Lakers are hoping that they'll be able to get a big game out of Worthy today. If not, they'll have to look to AC Green. Back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Steve, and we are approaching the start of Game 4. The Lakers seeking to tie the series at 2. The Bills determined to extend to a 3-1 lead. We welcome you back to the Forum in Inglewood as we check out the starting lineups. First for the Chicago Bulls, John Paxson and Michael Jordan in the backcourt. Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen are up front in the center. Bill Cartwright. The coach of the Bulls, Phil Jackson, in his 2nd year as head man of the Chicago Bulls, and his low-key style has worked extremely well. Byron Scott looking to shake out of a slump alongside Magic Johnson in the backcourt. Sam Perkins and James Worthy up front. And the center, Vlade Divac, who has enjoyed a terrific series. Mike Dunleavy, the head coach of the Lakers, a man who's proud to say he was a gym rat out of the schoolyards of Brooklyn. And another New York City product, a fellow by the name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, sitting at the end of the Laker bench. Kareem making a rare form appearance. Hugh Evans, Dick Bavetta, Ed T. Rush are the officials. Divac and Cartwright getting set on the opening tip. And the Lakers control. Byron Scott looking to work his way out of the shooting slump during the course of the finals. 0 for 8 from the field the other day. Magic Johnson finding the opening, and he's given the Lakers a 2-0 lead. Mike Dunleavy telling us he would like to work Byron into the game plan a bit more frequently. Has not been getting his shots. Here's Pippen, and the game is tied at 2.
One of the small subtleties, screening. Try to get somebody open for a screen, set a good pick, set a good screen. One of the things the Lakers need to do better. The Bulls just did it perfectly at their end.
And Michael Jordan opening up against Magic Johnson. Paxson right up on Scott. Pippen broke it up, but he stepped out. Good hustle by Scottie Pippen.
Pippen played halfway off of Worthy that time, made it tough to get the ball into the post area to Sam Perkins. As a result, Perkins stepped out away from the block. Worthy had a tough time making the pass.
Only 3 on the shot clock as Worthy inbounds. Divac fires it up. Back comes Pippen. Horace Grant opening up against Lonnie Divac in the mismatch. Pippen stopped by Divac. Magic goes the distance. Divac for the rebound. Yes, and it counts. Lonnie Divac will go to the line.
A big front line for Los Angeles, and their big men rotate well. They cover for each other. Divac with the block shot and the save at the other end. Magic sees the seam, decides he's keeping it himself all the way to the hole.
Foul called on Pippen. Lakers 5 and the Bulls 2. Game 3 Friday night. Bulls came from a 13-point deficit to knock off the Lakers in overtime, 104 to 96. Perkins called for the foul. The Lakers with an 18-2 run in the third quarter. At one point, Chicago missed 9 consecutive shots, but the Bulls came back strong. Paxson, yes. John Paxson, not a factor in the previous series against Detroit, has been shooting extremely well against the Lakers.
Also not a guy that you expect to beat you off the dribble and make shots as he comes off the dribble. He did it that time.
And Paxson able to scoop it up. Fouled by Scott. Byron Scott called for his first.
The Bulls team has such great quickness and great hands, anticipation to the basketball. One of the reasons why they're one of the leading teams in the NBA in producing steals, and as a result, you see a lot of easy scores or breakaway fouls against them during the course of the year and now in the playoffs.
Cartwright setting the pick. Jordan under pressure. Here's Grant. And Pippen able to recover. Paxson open. Yes. And that's a three-pointer for John Paxson, who has given the Bulls a 7-5 lead.
And there's one of those hustle things that take place where they get to the ball first, tip it, keep it alive, and score a 3.
Good play by Divac in keeping it alive. It will be Los Angeles ball. And the officials awarding the Lakers a timeout. Apparently there was an indication of a timeout call, but some confusion, and Dick Bavetta walks over to the scorer's table. And now announcing to all that a timeout has been called. 2 minutes, 10 seconds gone by in this first quarter. The Bulls off the shooting by Paxson, leading the Lakers by the score of 7-5. John Paxson off to the fast start, 5 of the first 7 points. Sam Perkins with the clutch 3-point shot to win game number 1. Lakers with a 93-91 victory in Chicago. As we recap what has taken place to this point, game 2. The Bulls with the record shooting, and in a blowout defeated the Lakers 107 to to 86. Should say, and then in overtime in game number 3. The Chicago Bulls taking over in overtime, while the Lakers shot only 1 for 9, and they were able to come away with a 104-96 victory.
All the small things adding up in this series. The first game, which the Lakers win, they make their free throws, they hit their three-pointers, pick up just enough extra points where they were badly beaten on field goals by Chicago, enough to just pull out a win. Second game, blowout for Chicago. But then coming back in the third game, the areas that hurt them, missed free throws, no three-pointers for the Lakers, do not produce enough points.
Game 5 will take place here in Los Angeles Wednesday night. Airtime on NBC at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. Michael Jordan is changing shoes. He's not getting enough support in that shoe with the split toe on it, so he's changing shoes and putting on a normal shoe. They're trying to lace it up in time for him to put it on. He's going to try to go out with the other shoe. Maybe there's not enough time this time, but he certainly has it ready.
All right, Ahmad. Michael did not practice yesterday because of that jammed big toe on the right foot. He landed awkwardly after hitting the jumper that tied game 3 in the final seconds. Landed on the tip of his toe and is giving it a shot.
The stoppage in play due to the fact there was a malfunction of the clock. They approximated the officials that 10 seconds had gone off the clock.
Again, Byron Scott not getting the good shot. The Bulls 7 and the Lakers 5. Paxson. And rebounded by Perkins. Good box out by Sam Perkins. Magic off the spin. Able to find Divac.
Anticipating the baseline rotation from the Bulls, the Lakers have pre-designed areas they ought to go to. Now it's a matter of delivering the pass, catching it, and converting.
Bill Cartwright has not been able to get going in this series, but that time a beautiful fadeaway move from deep along the baseline, and the Bulls have taken a 9-7 lead. Once again, Mike Dunleavy under the potential pressure by the Chicago Bulls, going with his front line handling the ball, and they do handle it well. Time to time you'll see Vlade Divac bringing it up. Worthy finding Divac. The game tied at 9.
Two excellent basketball teams as far as interior passing from big people to one another, finding people in the seams against very tough defenses.
Cartwright feeling for Perkins. Getting the good possession. So Bill Cartwright getting off early here this evening. And the Bulls with an 11-9 lead. Here's Worthy. Rebounded Grant. To this point, Michael Jordan has not attempted a shot. And he faces the double team. Now Divac races back. Cartwright again going to work on Perkins. And a foul call. The sideline official, Hugh Evans, indicating a hold on the Lakers.
It's very tough to pass on the inside versus the Chicago Bulls. Magic will be forced to turn to the baseline, and then the Bulls come running at him, but Divac steps right into the open area for the conversion.
Laker foul on Worthy. Jordan off the head fake. Yes. Michael Jordan with his first field goal attempt. Bulls 13 and the Lakers 9. Crowd getting impatient. And Divac once again able to get the step. Divac 4 out of 6. He has 9. Bulls 13, Lakers 11. 5 minutes gone by in this opening quarter.
The Lakers are well prepared for the baseline rotation. Magic that time able to still get to the middle of the floor for his look.
Cartwright, yes. Bill Cartwright, 3 for 3 from the field. Chicago 15, Los Angeles 11. Now Perkins going to work on Cartwright at the other end. Pippen over to help. Worthy.
but there was some good things that happened right there. The pass into the post actually took place with 18 seconds remaining on the 24-second clock. They had plenty of time to swing it weak side.
Grant getting inside. He's been doing that throughout the series. That is first field goal today. And the Bulls have opened up by hitting 8 of their first 11 from the field. A timeout called by the Lakers with 6:18 remaining. In this first quarter, the Bulls have taken a 17-11 lead. 9 of the 11 scored by Vlade Divac.
And the big story has been the toe of Michael Jordan. He started the game out with a shoe that had the toe slid out, and he's not getting enough support from it, so he's changed into his normal shoe, and that's what he'll try to go with. Marv?
All right, Ahmad. Michael Jordan attempting 1 shot thus far in this first quarter. He did hit it. The Bulls getting hot shooting from Bill Cartwright and John Paxson to open things up. Michael played 52 minutes on Friday night. And for Michael Jordan, it was not a top-flight performance. Only 11 for 28, 9 assists, 29 points, but hit the game-tying field goal at the end of regulation and then was the key man in overtime.
Why don't you tell the Lakers it was not a top-flight performance?
I think they'd agree, though, as Perkins was able to get to the rebound, knocked away from him. And James Worthy with his first field goal, so the Bulls lead it by the score of 17-13. Here's Grant from deep. Horace Grant hitting from all angles.
He really enjoys getting off to that quick first quarter scoring wise, keeps him in the game early, and then he produces for the remaining 3 quarters. Something he's really worked on, quicker starts.
Horace has shot 60% or better 6 of his last 7 games. 5.5 remaining in this opening quarter. Worthy with the step around Pippen, but got it out. Magic for 3. The Bulls lead it by 6. They've hit their last 6 from the field. Jordan. Yes, it counts, but he came up hobbling.
Once again, landing on that right foot with the sore toe after the slam dunk, and Perkins that time got caught hesitating. If they're going to force him baseline, you've got to rotate sooner. Sam Perkins waits. It's too late under the basket with Jordan attacking the way he does.
Foul called on Perkins, his second. Here comes A.C. Green checking back in.
He almost gear. He elevates and then just goes a little bit higher when he knows he needs to get it up over the top of a big player who's rotated to him.
Bulls in the midst of a 12-4 run, breaking the 9-9 tie, and they now lead it 22-13. Green handling against Cartwright, and he was pushed. Cartwright called for his first.
As Michael goes, check out right here, he just goes a little bit higher over the top of Perkins, but then comes down on the sore right toe.
Michael Jordan, along with the toe injury, has been bothered throughout the season by tendonitis in his left knee, and supposedly that at times has affected his lift. Worthy posting, Pippen right with him. And Worthy able to line drive it home. Bulls 22, Lakers 15. Grant from Pippen. Divac with the reject. That gets the crowd going. Magic going left. And he was shoved. So Magic Johnson will go to the foul line.
Taking a page out of the Chicago Bulls defensive book. The block shot, a weapon, save a score, and then turn it into a potential fast break opportunity for your team, the Lakers. Nice job of rotating by Vlade Divac.
Horace Grant called for the foul. Bulls now lead it 22-16. This has been a typical Chicago Bull first quarter where they have come out very strong. That's the case right throughout the playoffs. Cartwright again to the fadeaway. It will be Laker ball.
Point of emphasis for Mike Dunleavy. Because Chicago is quicker, more athletic than our team, we have to keep our bodies on their players when a shot goes up. They get to the ball quicker than we do. We've got to slow them down with body contact. Here's the problem right now. Once the Lakers give it up, they've got to get it into a scoring area quicker, just like that, into Worthy down low for the quick turnaround.
Worthy makes it 3 out of 6 from the field, and the Lakers have come back to move within 3. Divac stepping out against Jordan. Cartwright, Bill Cartwright wide open. Michael Jordan found him. And Cartwright is 4 out of 5 for 8 points. Bulls lead it by 5. 3.5 to go in this first quarter. Here's Worthy. A.C. Green involved with Michael Jordan, and it is a tie-up. So the jump ball called by Dick Pavetta.
A good job by A.C. coming back to at least tie up and get a jump ball out of it, because actually Jordan had gotten to the ball first. A.C. came in late to get his hands on it and then tugs it away, forces the jump.
But first, a timeout taken by Phil Jackson of the Chicago Bulls. 3:22 remaining in this first quarter.
Miller Genuine Draft presents #1 draft choices.
Tonight's Miller #1 draft pick, Irvin Magic Johnson, the former Michigan State Spartan, selected first overall back in '79. Magic left college following his sophomore season after leading Michigan State to the NCAA championship. The next year, at the age of 20, he led the Lakers to the NBA title, the first of 5 for Magic. Pippen with the hustle, but the Lakers able to control. A reminder at the end of tonight's broadcast, we'll select the Miller Genuine Draft Player of the game. Bulls lead it 24-19. A.C. Green. Green had it slapped away. Divac with the recovery. Lakers trail by 3 with just under 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. It is game 4 of the best of 7 NBA final. Lakers hoping to tie it up at 2. The Bulls looking to extend to a 3-1 lead. A.C. Green has done an excellent job off the boards. Worthy beating Jordan on the overplay. Jordan went for the steal. He gambled. And the Bulls by 1. They've led by as many as 9.
Jordan knew he was caught on the baseline screen. He had switched on to Worthy. He was late getting there. He went for the steal rather than get caught behind.
A 10-2 run by the Lakers. Grant. And a foul called on Los Angeles.
L.A. in transition likes to run right into baseline screens. Scott screening for Worthy. Jordan switches onto him. Doesn't want to get caught down low behind Worthy's back. Anticipates the pass. Tries for the steal, but misses.
Vlade Divac called for the foul, and Bill Cartwright to the line. Bill Cartwright only 2 for 8 from the field in game 3 Friday night. He's opened up 4 out of 5, making his first appearance at the free throw line. His free throw shooting fell off this season. Here's Cliff Livingston, who was such a spark in game number 3, checking in for the first time. Cartwright off to the fast start. Same for Divac, who has hit 5 out of 7, leading the way with 11 points. Vlade also has 2 blocked shots in this first quarter. 2 minutes 4 seconds remaining in the quarter. The Bulls lead at 25-23.
Once again, the Bulls back to the full court pressure, hoping that come fourth quarter, the wear and tear will take its toll on the Laker players, as it has done in 2 of the previous games.
Here's Scott, and he cannot buy one. He thought he was fouled, but Green is right there. A.C. Green, who provided a spark on several occasions in the previous series against Portland, has done just that here in the first quarter. And the game is tied at 25. A minute and a half left in the quarter. Jordan going glass. Rebounded by Worthy.
Worthy last game, only 1 rebound the entire game. They need James back in there to help him out on the glass.
Good play by Cartwright. He came over to cut off the passing lane.
And that's one of the strong points for Chicago. When they rotate the trap, they come big, meaning they come with their arms, hands up and aggressive to get deflections, pieces of the basketball against the passing team.
Shot clock is down to 5. Magic. Beautiful feed for Green. Lakers want the goaltend. A foul has been called. They will not get the bucket. It's on Pippen, his second.
Magic made the quick spin and caught Michael pushing up tight on him. As Cartwright rotated, Magic's looking for his people, have those pre-designed areas that they go to. It was AC who pulled down the rim, not the Bulls. No goaltend.
Bill Cartwright will get a rest. He hit 4 out of 5, 9 points. The rookie from North Carolina, Scott Williams, has checked in for the first time. Scott grew up a Laker fan here in Los Angeles. The Bulls and Lakers tied at 25 with 1:05 remaining in this first quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from the Forum in Inglewood. Coming up at halftime, it'll be Bob and Pat. And they will be chatting with the former Laker star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is sitting on the Laker bench. Lakers by 1. Pippen. Magic avoiding the double team.
Notice 2 guys always chasing Magic, trying to slow him down so he can't push the basketball.
Magic trying to dump it off to Green. And it will be Chicago ball. Horace Grant making his return. Coming on for Scottie Pippen. Pippen leads with a field goal for 2. Down to 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. Lakers have bounced back big off the boards. They have out-rebounded the Bulls 11-6 in this first quarter. Grant again getting inside. And the Bulls lead by 1.
Because Michael Jordan commands so much respect and attention from the defense, what happens is once you put it in his hands, the Lakers start running around. The other Bulls just go to spots on the floor. Jordan picks out the open guy.
And Horace Grant has now, over the last 2 games, hit 19 of his last 24. Here's Magic. And he was fouled. 4 and 8/10 seconds to go in this first quarter. Jordan called for his first. In game 3, Michael Jordan played 52 minutes. Magic Johnson, 50 minutes. Magic Johnson looking exhausted during that overtime session.
Well, they rely on Magic for so much. They rely on him to run the fast break, direct the half-court offense, back his person down into the low post area, be one of the key rebounders for him. The wear and tear during the course of the game catching up.
Here's the long-range fling specialist Craig Hodges checking in for the final seconds.
And this is their 3-point attack. In this particular situation, to end quarters, they like to send Hodges and Paxson to the wings out wide, give the ball to Michael, let him push it down the middle of the floor. If he draws a double team, kick it out for the 3-pointer.
Lakers by 1. Jordan slipped. Time running out. He's able to dump it off to Livingston, but too late. Won't count. It's all going in for Cliff Livingston, but that one came after the horn. And the crowd responds. Vlade Divac with 11 points, leading the Laker comeback. They were down by as many as 9, but after 1, they have a 1-point advantage on the Bulls as they try to even the series at 2. Well, in the first quarter, the Lakers have bounced back in the rebounding department, but Byron Scott continues to struggle. 0 for 2 in the first quarter. Yesterday, we talked with Byron about his shooting difficulties.
Just if you get another good look, you know you're gonna bang it down. You know, that's the only thing I tell myself. The next good shot I get is gonna go down. You know, I had that much confidence in my shot and myself. And you know, like last night, when it doesn't go, just look at it the next morning and say, hey, that was 1 game. You know you're not gonna have 2 games like that.
Well, Byron Scott, who was just replaced by Terry Teagle, began the final shooting 53% in the postseason, 58% from three-point range. Had brilliant games in the Golden State and Portland series, but the Bulls have concentrated on him. He's been shut down. Plus, when he doesn't get enough shots, he loses his rhythm. Also, he's been occupied at the other end by Michael Jordan. But you know he'd love to turn it because he did not have a good playoff series a year ago.
And to the fact that normally, as Hodges pulls up quickly to try and get off with a jumper from the outside, and to the fact that the Lakers normally would be able to go to Terry Teagle, put Teagle in the game. Hey, if Scott's struggling, Teagle picks up the scoring slack. But whereas Scott comes in shooting 21%, Teagle only shooting 28% against Chicago. Neither of the two guards producing.
Horace Grant called for that foul as this second quarter gets underway, and the Lakers lead at 28-27. They close the first quarter with a 15-5 run. Perkins working on Williams. Rebounded by Grant. Has it reached the point where Byron Scott is just psyched out, coming off the 0 for 8 the other night?
I'm not sure the word psyched out is the proper one, as opposed to maybe just hanging his head a little bit to the point where he's feeling sorry for himself and needs a big game to get himself going back in it mentally and obviously get the Lakers going.
Grant and Divac showing the extension by hauling that one down. The man who's replaced Byron Scott, Terry Teagle, also has not been able to get going. Magic with the spin. And Scott Williams able to get to it. Scott going behind the back against Bloody Divac. Minute and a half gone by. Second quarter. Bulls with the ball down by 1. Here's Williams. Nice move.
Divac got caught in the air that time. Did not want to commit the foul. As a result, just kind of backed off as he came back down. Williams snuck it up in there for the score.
The Bulls 29, the Lakers 28. Divac, Green, Perkins up front, Teagle and Johnson at the guards. Foul called on the Bulls. It's on Hodges.
A little pump fake, head fake right here gets Divac in the air. Then to avoid a quick early foul, Vlade basically just backs off. Instructions the other night from Magic, don't get in early foul trouble.
And Magic was fouled. Livingston went flying, inadvertently tripped up.
Because Magic is so big at 6'9", 220, when he starts to go one way, you need to get your body over in front of him, which Jordan does. But then Magic, with the quick reverse, is too close, is able to get the shot up before the defensive rotation takes place by Livingston.
Magic Johnson, 5 for 5 from the line, and Magic getting into it offensively early. He now has 7 points. Lakers 30 and the Bulls 29. Greg Hodges now operating at the point guard position. Hodges and Jordan in the backcourt. Williams up front with Grant and Livingston. Hodges unleashes and Green rebounds.
Another example of the hands-on defense by Chicago. Magic spotted an open player underneath, tried to fire it across, deflection out of bounds.
Timeout taken, 9:39 remaining in the second. We are early second quarter, but to this point, both Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson have gone the distance. That's the case on Friday night, and we talked about that with Magic.
Well, you can never play too much when it's all on the line. You know, it's sometimes it be that way. Of course, I was tired, but that's just gonna happen.
Well, Magic has been averaging 45 minutes per game in the finals, worthy 44, and right on down the line. And you have to wonder, has Mike Dunleavy lost confidence in his bench, and can he continue to play his starters that many minutes?
Well, during the regular season, Magic played 37 minutes a game, 45 plus. we see here in the finals. Has he lost confidence? No, but they better start producing because the series is winding up short.
And that shot by Teagle went short. Jordan at the other end, able to hit. The Bulls lead at 31-30. Magic Johnson now getting a rest for the first time this evening. Sitting down with 8 points and 4 assists. Larry Drew has come on. Drew and Teagle in the backcourt. Perkins up front along with Green and Worthy.
In transition, the Bulls do a great job of keeping their heads up and looking down the floor. And then who better than Michael to catch and convert?
Drew working against Hodges. Perkins played by Williams and then Grant. And Livingston gets to it.
Perkins almost forgot that time that they were going to be there coming from the baseline, turned right into the double team.
Here's Jordan. And the foul has been called as B.J. Armstrong gets set to check in.
Every once in a while, Michael Jordan likes to leak out, take off in front of the rest of the field. It's just a matter of whether or not the point guard sees him and can deliver the ball.
Craig Hodges called for his second foul. Armstrong guarding Drew. Michael Jordan sitting down for the first time. Leads 3 out of 5, 7 points and 5 assists.
Mike Dunleavy had mentioned earlier that Terry Teagle is one of the best bad shot makers in the NBA. That was an example of an off-balance shot. Most coaches would say, oh, no.
And Green comes up with rebound number 6. Here's Drew. Williams off the boards. Both clubs have gone cold. Pippen for Hodges. Yes. And that was just within 2-point range. So Craig Hodges with his first field goal. It's the Bulls 33 and the Lakers 30.
And the last shot by Larry Drew. He's trying to help the team out. He's getting his opportunity early here. He comes in and wants to do something positive. But I'm not quite sure that's the shot Dunleavy wanted last time down.
Shot clock at 4. And the foul on Williams. That will send Teagle to the free throw line.
You get no room to get a decent shot off against the Chicago Bulls defense. It seems like every time you post up and turn, there's a second or third Bull running at you to challenge the shot or make you change the shot. The result, the team shooting just under 46% so far in this series versus Chicago.
Terry Teagle in his 9th NBA season out of Baylor against the Golden State Warriors, his former club. Very valuable coming off the bench, averaging just under 11 per game, but he has not shot well. Signed as a free agent by the Lakers, connected on only 44%. Did come on strong at the end of the season as the Lakers finished strong, winning 11 of the last 14 games. Here's Armstrong. And B.J. Armstrong has given the Bulls a 35-32 lead. A.C. Green went to the left hand and then rebounds and had it knocked away. Hodges with the opening. Yes. Craig Hodges, known for his streak shooting, able to bury that shot from the tough angle.
He's playing with a tremendous amount of confidence right now. He feels it. It's coming out of his hand quickly. Phil Jackson has really encouraged him to open up the game for them from the outside.
And Craig Hodges has one of the quicker releases in the NBA. Here it is. He fires and he hits, leading to the Laker timeout. Well, 6 years ago to the day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar passed Jerry West as the all-time leading scorer in playoff history. Not only did Kareem pass West in this series, he won the MVP of the finals as he led the Lakers past Boston in 6 games. And Kareem on the Laker bench for today's game, 6-time most valuable player, member of 6 world championship teams. And he will be chatting with Bob and Pat at halftime. The Lakers trailing the Bulls 37-32 since Magic Johnson sat down Chicago on an 8-2 run.
In transition for the Lakers, 0 points off the fast break.
And Magic Johnson is back. Brief rest for Magic. Michael Jordan also getting a very brief respite. Shot clock at 4. Perkins. Scott Williams has played him well. Here's Perkins on the recovery, and he was hit. Williams with his second.
Perkins loves turning to the inside of the lane. The ball's right there to stop his body momentum, but Sam stays after, comes up with the second shot opportunity. One of the problems right now is only 1 or 2 players at a time on the glass for the Lakers. The rest are spread out on the perimeter looking for the spot-up shots.
Well, the Lakers spending the time at the line in this first half. They're trailing by 4. Bill Cartwright got off to the good start, replacing Scott Williams, who once again did a solid job. Sam Perkins, the MVP of the Final Four in 1983 as North Carolina won the NCAA championship. Teammate of Michael Jordan, James Worthy. 6:20 remaining in this first half. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from the Forum in Inglewood. It's game number 4 of the best of 7. Shot clock running down on the Bulls. Jordan gets it off, and Michael Jordan now has 9 points despite the jammed toe, and you can see he's a bit on the gimpy side.
18 field goals for Chicago, only 11 for Los Angeles. Very similar to the first game where Chicago had 8 more field goals.
Divac getting the good position. He has 13 points. Lakers were 0 for 9 from the field prior to the shot by Divac. Bulls lead it 39-35. Jordan around Divac.
Tremendous ball movement by Chicago. They really trust each other, believe in each other. They know where they're supposed to be on the floor and take advantage of it.
Here's Worthy. Pippen got a piece of it. Divac to the reverse. The Bulls by 4. Byron Scott back on Michael Jordan. Deflected out by the Lakers.
After a complete swing rotation of the basketball, they wind up with Divac trying to move out on Jordan. Just a mismatch there. No way Vlade can guard him off the dribble. This is all a result of the Bulls' offense and ball movement getting it to the weak side to take advantage of that situation. Jordan off the dribble versus the center from the opposition.
John Paxson returning, replacing Craig Hodges. Pippen. The Lakers missed timing off the battle, off the glass, and it cost. Bulls now lead 43-37. Perkins. Here's Jordan going left to beat Scott. Pippen missed the tip, and the Bulls now bouncing back off the boards after the Lakers had the advantage in the first quarter.
You could really see the difference in quickness that time. Jordan again off the dribble to the basket and fouled. Scottie Pippen jumped twice last time before Sam Perkins got up 1 time to keep it alive. Again, off the dribble, he catches Magic straightening up in the defensive stance. Rotation too late. They just let him go for the score.
So much for the jammed toe theory. Michael Jordan has come on strong in the second quarter. He now has 13 points. The foul committed by Johnson. 3-point play for Michael. And the Bulls now open a 9-point lead. It matches their biggest of the night. Four minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Divac being played by Pippen. Three on the shot clock. Perkins rejected by Livingston. And Pippen is held. Magic Johnson preventing the fast break. Among the many factors of the advantage shown by the Chicago Bulls, once again, Phil Jackson is able to go to his bench with confidence. The Lakers getting zippo from their bench. But here's Jackson able to go to Scott Williams, who played well. Livingston is still on the floor. Craig Hodges comes on, hits a couple of jump shots. On the other hand, the Lakers are back in a position not only trailing, but their top players are going to log quite a bit of playing time. Here's Cartwright. Bulls able to get back. Magic. Yes. And it counts.
As Magic got right around the foul line area, he was almost going to reverse dribble and pull it back right about here, but he knew that Pippen guessed right, so he kept it going the same direction. Converts, has an opportunity for the three-point play.
Scottie Pippen called for the foul. That's his third. Horace Grant returning. Bill Cartwright sitting down. Pippen was headed off. And now he will depart. Will Purdue will come on.
It's not like, I'm sorry, it's not like you're going to be able to beat Chicago with just 3 people producing. Right now, Perkins only 1 point, Byron Scott yet to score. Los Angeles needs to get the other people involved in the offense, and those 2 guys are step-up guys. They need to make shots for them to produce it.
Magic now 7 for 7 from the line. He has 11. The Bulls by 6. Paxson and Jordan in the backcourt. Grant up front with Purdue and Livingston. Here's Jordan. Changed his mind. Livingston eluding Worthy. It's all going in for Cliff Livingston. A 5 for 5 on Friday night. He hit a fling earlier, but it did not count because the quarter had run out. He is 1 for 1 this evening.
Cliff playing totally under control in this finals. Seems to have himself knowing what he wants to do and when.
Divac called for the foul, backing in, making the contact. That's his second.
Vlade trying to hold off Grant on his back. Grant smaller, doesn't weigh quite as much, just kind of backs up in the act of it. I would say that that really wasn't what we would call a crushing post move that time by Vlade, but the offensive foul is called.
Just under 3 minutes remaining. In the second, Jordan. Livingston. Yes. Cliff Livingston extending to a 10-point Chicago lead.
Livingston, one of the best at all those junk baskets we call them. Just hustle and effort wind up getting him good high percentage shots.
Magic on the recovery. Very offensive-minded Magic Johnson, who now has 13 points. The Bulls 50, the Lakers 42 with 2:20 remaining in this first half. Cartwright. And Worthy able to snatch it. Magic facing the double team, getting it out to Worthy. It counts, and the foul. Foul called on Livingston.
When you have a 6'9" point guard that can look over a double team and pick out the open man on your team, it certainly helps. Magic starts his move, draws the double, and then finds Worthy spotting up near the top of the circle.
The Bulls take a timeout with 2:01 remaining in the first half. Once again, Cliff Livingston of the Bulls has been a factor off the bench. He did not do much during the regular season, but starting with the series against Detroit, he has come on strong, a subject we discussed with Cliff.
So it was a hard season for me, but now that the playoffs has come, he showed faith in me in the Detroit game, and I came through, and he said, well, this type of play we need. We need someone with energy to come up and make a key rebound or a key stop at an important time. And I take it upon myself to be that person because I think that when I'm coming off the bench, I'm a spark player, impact player. And when I get out there, I'm going to let everybody know that I'm on the floor at that time.
So Cliff able to overcome his days in Atlanta with the czar of the telestrator and come up big here in the finals.
Yes. I kind of thought his career blossomed when he got to Atlanta.
Cliff didn't mention that to us yesterday. Did not seem to make that point. We're just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half, and the Bulls lead the Lakers by 6. Grant played well. Here's Livingston. Heard the 24-second buzzer go up. Cliff getting a little crazy now.
Now, in fairness to Cliff, there were only 2 seconds left on the 24-second clock. He had to get it up there, give him a chance to score.
Divac, nice fake, and rebounded by Livingston. Minute 15 remaining, first half. A rare turnover committed by the Bulls.
And they know each other so well that when Jordan elevated near the foul line, he just knew that Paxson was going to be in the left corner. Paxson just did not have the opportunity to get there. The pass long out of bounds.
In fact, that's the first turnover committed by Chicago. Grant jumping out. Divac takes advantage of the mismatch, but got bottled up. Good defensive recovery by the Bulls. Jordan with the pull-up. And Scott gets to it with 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes Cartwright. Perkins. Jordan taking a shot from Worthy, looking for the foul. And the Bulls will hold for a final shot. Jordan working the clock down as we come to the conclusion of the first half. The Bulls lead it by 6. And we get the whistle. Hugh Evans with the call against Scott.
What they were trying to set up that time, Chicago, was Bill Cartwright pulling out to the right-hand corner. If Jordan went right hard, he was to kick it to Cartwright for the jump shot. If no one came to help, it was an isolation for him to go one-on-one.
Well, the series has gone Hollywood. Shifting over to the Forum in Inglewood. 22nd timeout has been taken by the Chicago Bulls. Not a bad foul, though, by Byron Scott. Lakers not over the foul limit. It means that the Bulls have to inbound and look for the shot with 3 and 1/10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and with just over 3 seconds remaining, it's plenty of time to get a catch, one more pass in the shot, or catch off the dribble, and then a good shot, and perhaps the opportunity to go to the foul line.
Bulls have not gone to the line very often here in the first half. They're 3 for 4 from the line. That a complaint of Phil Jackson earlier this series. Lakers 12 for 15 from the line.
And the substitution by Phil Jackson. He brings out his three-point bombing crew right now. Hodges in the game, Paxson in the game. You need to stay home with them or close to them, which opens up the seam for Michael to catch the ball. Now with Jordan passing it from out of bounds, look for him to pass and cut without it to the basketball. A give and go from out of bounds.
At one point, the Bulls led by 10. 0 for 9 drought by the Lakers, turning things to that lead earlier the second quarter. Michael Jordan fires. Yes! At the horn. So despite the jam toe, Michael starting slowly and then turned it up. 7 for 13 from the field for a game high of 16 points along with 7 assists. Magic Johnson also getting into it offensively. 13 for the half along with 6 assists. Final seconds of the first half, and Jordan able to unleash and connects.
Actually, that play had broken down on the weak side of the floor. The players had started too early, so Michael hit the postman and then moved in that direction to get the return. 3 seconds is an eternity in the NBA.
The Bulls at halftime leading the Lakers by the score of 52-44. Bob Costas, Pat Riley coming up just a moment. And among their halftime activities, they will be talking with former Lakers star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Bulls in front, 52-44 at halftime. Michael Jordan with 16 points. Vlade Divac continues to play exceptionally well. He has 15 for the Lakers. Magic 13 points. We told you about his assist to turnover ratio declining in the finals. Not in the first half here. 6 assists, and he's turned it over only once.
Well, Bob, you know, the Lakers are still getting the kind of support from Worthy and from Magic and Vlade, but right now we don't have Byron or we don't have Perkins into the game. But we go back to what we talked about earlier in the game, is that the effort department, the Bulls are taking over in that department. In the first period, the Lakers were on top of rebounds and loose balls with AC Green, but in the second quarter, the bench of Hodges and especially Livingston have again taken over in that effort department.
Is it effort, or is it simply the matter of the Bulls having the better athletes, especially at this stage, as the Lakers are the somewhat older team, so the Bulls are quicker to lose balls?
Well, I don't think that really plays a factor. I think sometimes players really feel like they're playing as hard as they can, but that's an area that really determines the difference between winning and losing, and the Bulls, you have to really give them credit for it. They are taking advantage of all of those rebounds and loose balls. It's playing a major factor right now in the game.
Okay, well, one man who's used to the pressure of the NBA Finals and is used to playing in championship games in this building is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He won 6 NBA titles during his 20-year professional career, the last 5 as a member of the LA Lakers, the team of the 80s. The 18-time All-Star played in a record 237 playoff games, where he averaged more than 24 points. Kareem shared the spotlight on the Lakers with Magic Johnson and worked closely with the new Knicks coach, Pat Riley. Now sitting with me are 2 of the 3 men most closely identified with that Laker team of the 80s, Pat Riley and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem, we all saw you sitting at the end of the Laker bench. We know where your heart is, but take this one from your head. Has this edition of the Lakers got enough to come back?
Well, as a Laker fan, I'm distressed by the fact that they can't get any scoring except from the guys that they regularly go to, namely Magic, Perkins, and James Worthy. Byron is being shut out, and the guys coming off the bench are not really involved to the point where they're making a major contribution, and that does not bode well for the Lakers.
Kareem, it's been said, and it's sort of fashionable right now, that they say teams don't need dominant centers anymore to win titles. Vlade Divac, Bill Cartwright, not dominating centers, even though they're very good centers. What's your feeling about that fact?
Well, I think every team would like a dominating center to play with, because what that type of player brings to a team is consistent scoring on the inside, which is the best place to start your offense. As close to the basket as you can, you get the highest percentage shots. So when you have a player that can give you that, it's a definite advantage, and I think every team would like that. But when you can't get it, you can't get it. You just have to wait for the right individual to come along.
How about your own involvement in the early development as an NBA player of Vlade Divac?
Vlade's problem had to do with the fact that he played European ball where they play a zone, and defensively all they do, they come down, they stand with their arms in the air, and really don't know the physical jostling that you have to constantly maintain in order to keep someone off the offensive boards. And he got manhandled a lot earlier. I think he's learned a little bit about that, but he's still not at the level that you would like. He still plays more like a forward than a regular NBA center.
The other night, he came to Magic after making what he thought was the game-winning shot, came right to him for the hug, and a lot of people thought back to Magic's first regular season game as a Laker when you were somewhat surprised to wind up in his embrace. Did that bring back the same memory for you?
Well, in that game, I'd made the shot and the game was over. That was the big difference. That game wasn't over, and as Lawrence Berra said, it ain't over till it's all over, and that one ended up kind of sour for the Lakers.
It's not over for us and Kareem just yet. We'll continue our conversation with him right after this commercial break as we continue at halftime.
You know, Cap, this is a pretty good place to play. Been here a long time, and if you take a look at all these banners up here, 6 championship banners, and of course the number 33 that hangs there, of all those titles and all the years you played here in Los Angeles, is there one moment or one special flag that's hanging here that you remember the most?
Well, you know, the one for me is going to be 85, 84-85, when we finally beat the Green Gremlin to death and sent him out to float in Boston Harbor. That was nice.
The competition, and you know, a man who played the game for 20 years and was in the middle of it, being challenged every single night. Men flourish sometimes with that competition. I don't know if you have the same kind of competition anymore outside of the game, but what are you replacing that kind of competition with right now?
That's been a very difficult aspect for me. Fortunately, you know, I have some children that I have to spend some time with, and that has absorbed my time. But you don't encounter a challenge like that personally, or you don't get the public acceptance of your skills in the way that you do in professional sports. It's a very difficult thing to leave. You know, this winter I spent where I didn't have a book tour or something else to do. It's a very tough winter for me. I, you know, spent a number of days doing laps around the walls in my bedroom there.
When was the last skyhook you put up?
Oh, I just came back from a tour of Saudi Arabia. We visited some of the troops and played a couple of games in the kingdom there and had a good time. I played 7 games, nothing serious, just goofing off, but it was fun.
Kareem, great to see you. Our thanks to you. And we come back with Pat Riley's look at NBA trends for the 90s right after this.
Thence, Pat Riley's NBA trends of the 90s.
You know, basketball has truly become a global game over the past 10 years. Its popularity has reached new heights. As the game continues to move forward, I thought it would be fun to look into my crystal ball and predict where the game and some of its stars are headed.
Robinson.
The 90s will be the decade of David Robinson. I figure that the decade's best player has to be no older than 25, and the Admiral should have enough wind left in his sails to cruise through the upcoming years as the premier player.
To the Admiral.
The magic of the 90s, well, it won't be performed on the hardwood, but in the corporate boardroom, as Irvin Stock rises from captain to chairman of his own NBA franchise. It may take more than magic to coax a rare bird out of retirement and perch him on the bench again, but Coach Larry could have some lucky team flying high. The rule change I like to see in the 90s, well, cut the 24-second shot clock down to 20 and send the game back to the future in overdrive.
Swing it.
Why? Because I believe the offensive trend of the decade will be a high-octane running style, reminiscent of the fast-breaking Celtics and Lakers of the 80s. Slow time will be history in no time as teams rev up for the go-go 90s. Defensively, look for more half-court traps and presses to turn up the heat as Pressure D dominates the decade.
Here's the trap. Dumar's in trouble.
Who's my team of the 90s? Do I ride with the Spurs? Am I fired up about the Blazers? Am I bullish on the Bulls? No. The team of the decade will be an off-Broadway hit playing in one of the NBA's most storied theaters, Madison Square Garden. Well, at least they'll be my team of the 90s.
Well, Kareem, that's your hometown. You think it can happen?
They're always hoping for it back in the Big Apple. They got some work to do, though.
Thank you. If I could bring Cap back, I think we'd be right there.
Extreme vote of confidence. Back to Marv Albert and Mike Fratello for the call in the second half, right after this.
Halftime at the Forum in Inglewood. Chicago Bulls 52 and the LA Lakers 44. Mike, have the Lakers corrected any of the problems from the last 2 games?
They've corrected one area, 23-23 on the board, so they're rebounding much better, but the other things still keep popping up. Not shooting well, only 37%. They've struggled with Teagle and Scott from the 2-guard spot, but add to those problems, Perkins has been missing this game. And now the biggest thing to me is I don't see the look in their eyes, that glaze, that intensity where they're really going after it. They're almost as if sitting back saying, I can't believe this is happening to us.
Do you feel you can really tell from just looking at players?
I think you can. I talked to Pat Riley just before the game today, and I asked him if he saw something like that in their eyes in game 2. Pat said he saw it. I see it as well once again today.
Of course, I know you've been psychic for a long time, so I can understand that point. When we come back, we'll hear from Mike Dunleavy. We'll be back right after these messages. We're just about set for the start of the third quarter. The Bulls by 8 over the Lakers. A moment ago, Steve Jones chatted with Laker coach Mike Dunleavy.
All right, Mike, your team is only shooting 37% at the half. What did you talk about in terms of getting better offense?
Well, we got to have a little more patience. The times we have had good patience, we've scored the ball. When we have tried to rush things, we haven't been able to get good shots, and that's hurt us. We got to shoot better than 37% this half, and we got to take them down from their 52%.
That 52% has really hurt you. How can you stop them defensively?
Well, you know, we've made a few mistakes on rotations and which way we're coming to the ball, and it's allowed them to get in for some layups. and that's really hurt us. And the other couple times they got some loose balls and got out on the break and scored some easy baskets. So you can take away the easy baskets, you'll take down the percentage.
All right, Mike Dunleavy says he needs some of his scrap back to you, Mark.
All right, Steve, and you saw another layup of the driving stuff variety by Scottie Pippen, followed by the worthy miss. And as we get started here in this third quarter, the Bulls continue to add to that lead. It is back to a 10-point Bulls. Worthy called for the foul. The Bulls outscored the Lakers 25-16 in the second quarter. As you check out the leading scores, Jordan 16, Divac says 15. Lakers only 5 for 20 from the field. In the second quarter, at one stretch, they missed 9 in a row. Nice pass from Jordan, and Grant extends to a 56-44 lead.
If, in fact, the fatigue has been building up on the Lakers, don't be surprised to see the Bulls suddenly explode and open this game up to big numbers. They have shown the killer instinct throughout the playoffs. Jordan, the little fake, little foot fake, and then he always is looking for his teammates, cutting, slashing into the lane. You cannot get caught behind the offensive player that low, that deep into the lane.
A 20-second timeout was taken by the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, game number 5 will take place here at the Forum on Wednesday night. That'll be 9 o'clock Eastern time on NBC. The Bulls and the Lakers in game 5. The Lakers trying to tie the series at 2, and the Bulls looking to extend to a 3-1 lead in the best of 7. Michael Jordan, despite the toe injury, has hit 7 of 13. He has 16 points along with 7 assists. Again, the Bulls force Perkins to handle it. Perkins, Divac, Worthy up front. Johnson and Scott in the backcourt. They double up on Magic. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Scott with the open shot. Yes! And the Lakers would love to see Byron Scott get started off that jump shot. The Bulls now lead by 10.
The result of Chicago going for the steal, missing the best look that Scott's had in the basket in a long time.
He had missed his previous 10, but Scottie Pippen with the answer. And again, the Bulls lead by 12, and Scottie Pippen has opened up strong. He now has 8 points. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. Perkins backing Grant. Shot clock at 2. Magic Johnson going to the hook. The Bulls by 10 with 2 minutes gone by in the third. Paxson shooting. John Paxson has hit 3 out of 4.
The execution of the half-court offense by Chicago is something to behold. A little flash high post that time, backdoor, and then kick off to the spot-up man for the shot.
Worthy is now 5 for 12. Perkins 0 for 7. Grant. Horace Grant has been living in perfect position throughout the series.
It's almost as if Perkins and Divac don't believe that he's going to be able to get the shot up over him because he gives away a few inches. It's his quickness and jumping ability that makes the difference.
Illegal defense called for the first time. So that is the warning. The next one would result in a technical foul. Byron Scott with his first field goal in 115 minutes. 23 seconds. He was 0 for 8 in game 3. He had missed his first 2 attempts today. Crowd getting a little restless with the Lakers as Perkins goes to the spin. And finally able to connect. Sam Perkins missed his first 7. 62-50 Chicago. Jordan freed himself up. Perkins rebounding. Worthy.
Just when they have the opportunity to get the crowd into it, knock out the big shot, they roll in and roll out for the Lakers. That's the way it's been.
Paxson. Lakers trailing by 12. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Perkins. Well, the Lakers continue to have their shooting problems. Grant again. Beautiful lead on the hop thrown by Pippen. And Mike Dunleavy will talk it over. Timeout taken. 7:42 remaining in the third quarter.
Unusual to see the two great guards down low in the post battling it out, but Michael doesn't want Magic to get that low post spot. Cartwright helps out. As a result, Magic has to come out away from the low post area to get the ball. Let's go over to Steve Jones on the sideline.
All right, Mike, you talked about the look in the Lakers' eyes and whether they want it. Their coach, Mike Dunleavy, doesn't see it either. He challenged them and said if they don't pick up the defensive intensity, he's going to pull his starting five, put some people out there that want to play and see if they can extend this series. Back to you, Marv.
All right, Steve. Interesting words from Mike Dunleavy.
Well, you get to a point where you see in the players, you get the feel that the zip, okay, the fight isn't there. You have to turn to someone else to pick up the level of play.
9 on the shot clock. Bulls by 14 with 7.5 remaining in the third quarter. Magic from downtown. Worthy kept it alive.
And notice as soon as he got the ball on the outside, Paxson closed down on him. No open shots for Byron Scott.
Devon's open. And Pippen able to get to it. 9 rebounds for Scottie Pippen.
Suddenly you see the Lakers pressing. Every shot now becomes an even bigger shot because they're having problems knocking him down. They're good looks, but they're not going in for him.
Here's Pippen. And Cartwright gets to it. The Bulls get the new 24. Pippen lost it. Good play by Scott. No call. Bulls wanted a charge. Worthy. Phil Jackson jumping up along with assistant coaches Jim Clemens and Johnny Bach, very upset. Wanted the offensive foul, and it results in a Laker basket.
Very easily could have been an offensive foul on Magic.
Bulls lead it by 12. Jordan able to recover. Paxson open.
Michael Jordan knows where Paxson is going to be each time down the floor. He makes a living off those spot-up jumpers.
Oh, Grant rejecting Devon's, and here comes Jordan, and he's grabbed by Johnson.
Another example of the loose ball and who gets to it first, Chicago. Vlade making the move off the dribble, one of the skilled big men in the league, but the defensive recovery of Chicago, the block by Grant. And then the loose ball, Jordan on the way. Magic says, nope, we got to hold him up right here. No layup for you.
No, Magic did not want to face Michael coming down one-on-one.
To get him posterized, perhaps?
Remember talk of a contest between the two as Jordan is able to drill it home for a 66-52 lead. There was talk of a pay-per-view one-on-one showdown a year ago that would match Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Of course, Michael more a one-on-one player than Magic. Here's Scott. Well, Byron Scott with his second field goal. Bulls lead 66-54. 5:20 remaining in the third. Devon's jumping out to help. Lakers able to get back to their assignments. Shot clock down to 4. Here's Grant. And Magic on the run. Scott challenges Paxson, and he was fouled. Oh, they call it the other way. It's a charge on on Byron Scott.
One of the few times that the Lakers got out on one of their outright fast breaks from the beginning. Magic was pushing it out, pitching it ahead, but the great transition recovery, Paxson there in time, feet set, offensive foul.
All right, watch Paxson with the feet set.
Feet were set.
So it is an offensive foul. Indication by Ed Rush. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Paxson from deep. John Paxson in game 2 hit 8 of 8 from the field. Opened up game 3 hitting his first 2. And thus far tonight 4 for 7 for 9 points. Laker ball with 18 on the 24.
Every time Jordan elevates, he just looks to the furthest point away from him and finds Paxson spotting up for the open shot. Unusual team, Chicago, whereas Jordan, the leading scorer in the league, and Pippen have the most assists for them in the playoffs.
Worthy. He's been off here in the third quarter. Overall, 6 for 15. While Perkins only 1 for 9. We approach 4 minutes remaining in the third. Grant rejected by Divac. 1 on the shot clock. Paxson. And back come the Lakers.
And you can tell that Worthy is really struggling in the foot race with Pippen. Pippen to the ball first.
Magic. Bulls severely outplaying the Lakers in the second quarter. Same story here in the third. Divac has 17 points. He is the high man for the Los Angeles Lakers.
At some point, all 5 Lakers are going to get angry at the same time and understand, okay, the severe problems that they're having and where they are right now in this series. And when they do that, you're going to see a different Laker team out here.
Sounds like a pep talk. Cartwright. It is a 12-point Chicago lead as we go under 3 minutes remaining in the third. The Bulls hoping to make it a 3-1 advantage in the series. Lakers trying to tie it at 2, and Pippen comes up with the block and the foul called on the Lakers. 6 block shots for Chicago.
The frustration in James Worthy. Now 2 minutes ago he turned down a 16-foot jumper. He couldn't get away that time. Divac with the reject, helping to save some easy scores for the Lakers.
And the foul was called on Divac. Back after this timeout. As we check out the crowd, Al Davis paying no attention at all to Dick Versailles. NBA Commissioner David Stern in a heated discussion with NBC Sports President Dick Ebersol. Stern trying to persuade Ebersol to pick up the complicated option on Fratello's contract. The major problem, the czar, has been a nuisance with the crew. We have had a near mutiny here. Just checking the crowd. We'll be doing this from time to time. 2 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in the third. James Worthy sitting down, had a poor shooting third quarter. 6 for 15 overall. The Bulls with a 12-point lead. Jordan to the fadeaway. Oh, he hit the back of the rim as he saw Divac approaching.
There's nothing you can do with him. He's absolutely ridiculous when he gets into these type of modes where everything is going in for him. His fades, his drives.
And the Lakers having huge problems now. Byron Scott called for the foul. You saw the poor shooting by the LA Lakers. They have died since midway through the second quarter.
Jordan on the fade because he knows Divac is coming after him here, so he has to get it up higher over the top of the big man. I'll just back up a little bit and say goodbye as I knock it out.
We have been dealing with the poor shooting by the Lakers, and there's a pretty good reason for it. As you discussed right at the top, the Chicago Bulls defensively have been just magnificent. That's the case right throughout the regular season. They've stepped it up in the playoffs. Divac, nice look for Teagle. And the Bulls lead at 70-58.
Couple defensive stops, steals, block shots. The crowd will come alive. They'll get their break going. It'll get them back in the game. That's what the Lakers need.
Caught right. Grant with the tip. Perkins with the back tap. And the Bulls maintain possession.
And this has been the story throughout the series for the Lakers. They just can't come up with the ball when they need it most.
Jordan. He beat Teagle off the dribble and then was able to spin Divac. AC Green will just check back in. He is now 1 for 5. The Bulls have a 14-point lead. Michael Jordan with 22 points despite the toe injury. Here's Jordan. Well, he changed the shot as he was flying toward the glass.
Jordan turning the corner, down the lane. He has those long strides and the ultimate in concentration, anticipating Divac to step up, but he never came. This time, with his patented baseline move, the ability to hang is what makes the difference for Michael.
Foul committed by Perkins. He has 3. Jordan 2 for 2 from the line. Michael Jordan averaging better than 31 per game in the playoffs. Led the NBA in scoring for the 5th straight season. And he shot a career high 54%. And he has played most of the way despite the jam toe. The Bulls by 16. It is their biggest lead of the game. Divac met on the mismatch by Paxson. Then he and Livingston have some words.
Frustration taking place right now. Divac, just a foul on Cliff Livingston. Not going to give up a layup. Divac reacts. Frustration has set in with the Lakers.
Cliff sending the message that it was an inadvertent hit, and Divac did accept the apology. Foul called on Paxson. It is a non-shooting foul. 35 seconds remaining in the third. Teagle. Perkins gets it back out. So the Lakers now with 20 seconds to go, third quarter. Divac saved that pass. Perkins had the three-point attempt blocked. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Jordan checking the clock. Jordan shooting. After 3, the Bulls by 16 over the Lakers. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. We are heading to the fourth quarter at the Forum in Inglewood. The Lakers with 16 points in the second, only 14 in the third, and they are now trailing 74-58. Well, James Worthy, who did bounce back from that swollen ankle, the ankle injury suffered against the Portland Trailblazers, headed back to the locker room, and we are set for a report on the severity of that injury. Let's go to Steve Jones.
Well, the injury for James Worthy is worsening. Every time he goes up and down on it, he's jamming it a little bit more, so he can't take it mentally. They're trying to retape it now. They're giving some electric stimulation, and hopefully that will at least aid him, and he'll be able to come back in the game, but it doesn't look good for Worthy or the Lakers right now.
All right, Steve. Worthy suffering a sprained left ankle in Game 5 in Portland and has been favoring it. Magic Johnson opening up the fourth quarter. The crowd urging the Lakers on. They now trail 74-60. The Lakers 7 for 21. Dreadful shooting in the third. They were only 5 for 20 in the second. While the Bulls have shot well. Divac got a piece of it. Dick Pavetta with the loose ball foul against Chicago. It's on Scott Williams, who had just checked back in. Lakers with Magic Johnson and Terry Teagle at the guards. A.C. Green, Vlade Divac, Sam Perkins up front. Here's Teagle. Divac. It's a 12-point Chicago lead. Greg Hodges back. He and Michael Jordan in the backcourt. Scottie Pippen, Cliff Levingston, and Scott Williams up front. Levingston played by Divac. Pippen lost it. Teagle with the steal. Important sequence for the Lakers. Magic, yes, and it counts. For the first time since early in the game, the Lakers able to go back-to-back. And now Magic to the line off this move.
No one wants to win more than Magic Johnson. He's frustrated right now. He knows he needs to pick it up. He's taking it into his own hands.
7 unanswered by the Lakers. And they've cut it to 9 with a minute 20 gone by in the fourth. Jordan didn't see the pass from Williams. Fortunate to recover. Jordan lost it. Good play by Teagle. And then the whistle by Hugh Evans. The foul called. Or let's see, it may have been a kick ball.
Once Magic feels the pressure by Jordan on one side, he turns the other way, splits the defense. Great feel for where everyone is on the floor.
Teagle called for the foul. His first. Another Chicago turnover. Perkins from downtown. It will be Laker ball.
There have been 2 fast break opportunities for the Lakers, but because they rely on Magic so much to run it for him, each time they've slowed down, turned, and thrown the ball backwards to Magic. You're not going to get easy scores that way.
Sam Perkins now 1 for 12. Bulls have led by as many as 16. Shot clock at 5. Perkins for 3. He cannot buy one. Make it 1 for 13 for Sam Perkins.
Has changed his shot completely now. He's on the run before he releases the basketball.
Hodges. Perkins stepping out looking for the reject. Beautiful soft touch by Craig Hodges. And the Bulls lead 76-65. Teagle pushed by Hodges. That's 3 on Craig Hodges. Timeout has been taken. 9:18 remaining in the fourth. Sitting crowd 17,505 at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones. Let's go to Steve.
All right, Marv, the crowd is beginning to make an impact on the game, but they will not have an impact on what's going on in this Laker locker room. James Worthy down for the remainder of the game. He is questionable. The ankle has gotten worse and over the last couple of ball games. They're hopeful that they can treat it and have him ready for Wednesday, but he is doubtful for Wednesday. He is through for the day.
All right, Steve, so the book is closed on Worthy, 6 for 16 for 12 points. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter, and the Bulls lead the Lakers by 11. Perkins posting on Williams. Sam Perkins now 1 for 14. And a It will be Chicago ball. Last touch by the Lakers.
Again, Cliff Levington, the subtleties of Livingston's hustle. He rotated that time just enough to get there, challenge and change that shot attempt.
Jordan from deep. 25 for Michael Jordan. And the Bulls extend to a 13-point lead. Lakers showed some signs at the start of this fourth quarter, but the Bulls have come back. It will be Laker ball with 13 on the 24.
Because of Worthy having the bad ankle and because of the other players' inability to really create off the dribble, the Bulls are able to recover defensively so much of the time because LA just wants to swing the ball around the outside and does not want to break them down off the dribble.
AC Green will throw it in. Well, Mike Dunleavy earlier promised wholesale changes, but he has basically stayed with the starters. Green is fouled. Forced to go to AC Green because Worthy is through for the game because of the ankle injury. Scott Williams called for his fourth.
On the drive, Scott Williams knows that he should have just stepped right up. He turns to Pippen that time after taking the foul. So I know it was my fault. Pippen telling him, just put your hands up straight. He's coming to you.
AC only a 74% free throw shooter during the regular season. In his 6th year out of Oregon State.
Scottie Pippen instructing the youngster, put him up straight. Williams saying, I'm trying to stop him. He was getting ready to shoot the ball. I didn't want to give him a layup.
Bulls by 11. And there you see the time remaining in the fourth quarter. It has reached desperation time for the Los Angeles Lakers. A loss today, and they're down 3 games to 1. Pippen taking the hit from Green, who was looking for a travel. AC committing his first. And Byron Scott returns. Byron Scott 0 for 8. Game 3, missed his first 2 here this evening. He's hit his last 2. Scottie Pippen calling out a play. Again, Cliff Livingston getting the playing time. Pippen. Hodges. Rebounded by Magic. Eluding the quick leaping Cliff Livingston.
Come back, come back.
Pippen getting help. Nice pass from Magic. Chico through the foul. Jordan did not like the call.
Terry Teagle very fortunate that time because Michael Jordan, anticipating that he was going to go to his right hand after he received the ball, got there in time and perhaps caused an extra step in there before the ball was put on the floor.
Third foul on Jordan. Teagle an 82% free throw shooter. The Bulls 78 and the Lakers 68. Chicago by 9. And again the crowd getting into it. 7.5 remaining in the fourth. Hodges from deep. Divac on the rebound. Divac spinning in and foul. Scott Williams drawing the assignment against Vlade Divac. Livingston came over to help, and Livingston charged with the foul.
But Phil Jackson showing a lot of confidence in Williams, leaving him on the floor in key times in the game when the Lakers are trying to make their little run. Livingston coming over to help his partner from the bench on the floor. Team defense is what it's all about.
Phil Jackson getting set to make changes. Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, John Paxson over at the scorer's table. And here they come. Livingston, Hodges, and Williams sit down. Phil Jackson, very popular player over a 13-year NBA career, told us he received calls wishing him well prior to the start of the series from a number of former teammates. Especially pleased to hear from his one-time coach Red Holzman, who won 2 championships with the New York Knicks. Also heard from one-time teammate, United States Senator Bill Bradley. The Lakers have cut it to 7. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. Divac called for the push. That is his 4th. And a timeout taken. 6:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. 6:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Bulls lead the Lakers 78-71. Wednesday night, Michael and Magic continue the dream matchup with NBC presenting Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Lakers and Bulls Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC. Well, with all the problems the Lakers have had during the course of this contest, with all the bad shooting, with the fact that the Laker bench has not contributed, while the Bulls have, the Lakers are only down by 7.
Surprising, they're in terrific position, if you can say that, being down 7 at this time. But after mentioning all the things that you did, you're right. 7 points down with all this time and the crowd finally into it, they got a chance.
Paxson with the shot. John Paxson has been a crusher for the Lakers. 5 out of 8 for Paxson. He has 11. And the Bulls lead at 80-71. Teagle. And Teagle now 1 for 6, and it leads to this.
How many times in the playoffs have the Bulls done this, where they answer the challenge after a timeout, just when the other team's on a roll, they come back and answer to quiet the crowd and then open the lead once again.
Scottie Pippen again doing a good job against Magic Johnson. Divac. So Vlade Divac has 23, the Bulls 82, and the Lakers 73. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And a defense from the crowd. Grant. And Horace Grant will go to the line. Fouled by Sam Perkins.
Because of the speed and quickness, one thing the Bulls love to do is leak a player out. Jordan sometimes, Pippen the other times. 2 guys who really finish well at the other end.
Horace Grant, 25 years old, out of Augusta, Georgia. He will celebrate his 26th on the 4th of July. One of the fastest and quickest power forwards in the NBA. Gunning for his 14th point. The Bulls lead by 11. Lakers going with their version of a 3-guard alignment, which includes the 6'9" Magic Johnson, along with Terry Teagle and Byron Scott. Shot clock at 3. Magic has to get it up, and it's an offensive foul. That's 4 on Magic Johnson.
After they've softened them up a little bit, tired them out a little bit during the first 3 quarters of the basketball game with Jordan guarding Magic, then they come back and put Pippen on him, bigger and stronger, able to be more physical down the stretch.
Jordan being guarded by Teagle. Paxson played by Scott. Jordan posting up. Divac on the rebound. And the reach-in foul called on Pippen. That's 4 for Pippen.
With not much time left on the 24-second clock, Magic going right. The good anticipation by the Bulls defense. Offensive foul.
And the Bulls with their 5th team foul, putting Magic on the line. 21 points for Magic Johnson, along with 11 assists. And he is perfect, 10 for 10 from the line. Chicago 84, Los Angeles 75. 4.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. Cartwright fielding for Divac. Yes. Bill Cartwright with a strong move. He's hit 5 of 10. He has 11. The Bulls extend to an 11-point lead.
And then a la the Lakers, run the clock down, milk it to the end before you make a shot.
Divac with the tip. 86-77, Chicago. The Chicago Bulls during the regular season won the Central with a record of 61-21, the best record in the history of the franchise, and they have just roared through the playoffs. Paxson from long range. The Bulls lead 88-77, and a timeout has been called with 3:49 remaining in the 4th.
Trainer Gary Vitti working on Byron Scott's shoulder a moment ago in transition defense. Scott hit a wet spot on the floor, slips and goes down, and then bangs the shoulder and hyperextends the arm area. Let's go over to Steve for a report.
Well, Gary Vitti worked on that shoulder the entire time out. Scott seems to be okay. They're going to try him. What they're going to try to do out of this, go to their pick and roll game. They need him because they also want him to spot up for 3-point field goals. So we'll see how it goes in the next 3:49.
All right, Steve, it has not gone well for Byron Scott during this series, while it has been terrific for John Paxson, who's hit 6 of 10 for 13. The Lakers shooting only 36% for the game, while the Bulls again on fire at 52%. We're down to 3:40 remaining in the 4th, and Chicago leads 88-77. Lakers remain the same following the timeout. Magic having difficulty off the double team. Shot clock down to 1. Scott too late. It's a 24-second violation.
And after he shot the ball, Byron Scott dragging the right arm down. As soon as he released it, that right arm dropped to his side. That shoulder definitely bothering him. With the shot clock going off, Byron Scott shoots. Perhaps a little contact that time by Pippen to further aggravate it. Pippen's body hitting him, jamming it once again. They'll have to get Scott out of the game, Mark.
Another superb defensive sequence by the Chicago Bulls. Scott tried to steal it, and the foul is called. That's number 5 on Byron Scott, and now he'll be replaced by Larry Drew. So Byron Scott, only 2 out of 4 from the field, not able to get the shot opportunities, and off that steal attempt, he's called for the foul. The Lakers now over the limit. Bill Cartwright to the line, and Byron Scott is headed off. So it's been a rough day physically for the Los Angeles Lakers. They lost James Worthy earlier, aggravating that sprained ankle, and now Scott headed back to the locker room. High point man of the game, Michael Jordan, playing with the jam toe, 25 points along with 13 assists. Monty Divac's coming up strong, 25 points, 10 rebounds. And Magic Johnson, 22 points, 11 assists. The Bulls 89, the Lakers 77. Time running out on the Los Angeles Lakers. A Chicago victory, and they will take a 3-1 lead in the best of 7. Magic's pass deflected. What a play by Devons. Showing his quickness. Devons has 27. The Bulls by 10. Pippen. Paxson recovers. John Paxson. 7 for 11 for 15 points.
There's a groove on the right side of the floor that Paxson just slides into to make the open jumper.
Perkins able to keep it alive. Teagle had it knocked away. Look out. Michael Jordan all right. Michael coming out of the pack, telling Scottie Pippen that he's fine.
Terry Teagle trying to make a move off the dribble, which is good. They need somebody to break down the defense, but then you have to have the ability to make the pass. Jordan with the hustle at all times into the crowd to try and save it.
And Perkins rejected. Well, defensively, statistically, the Bulls, the top defensive team in the playoffs over the last 10 years, and they have come up strong in that department once again tonight. Pippen, and he was blocked by Devons.
One of the things you must fear when Michael Jordan is around is the block shot from behind the head. Jordan anticipates where the point of release will be from the offensive player, Perkins in this case, times his jump and loves to go by and swipe it from behind. That time, the block with the left hand.
So, Pippen to the line for the first time. A minute 46 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Bulls now lead at 92-79.
Jordan leads this team in so many categories. Scoring, the obvious one, then assists here in the playoffs. Happens to have the most blocks on this team as well in the playoff series.
And a timeout has been called. The Bulls lead by 14. Michael Jordan playing with the jam toe. Still has gone 43 minutes. Well, tonight's Miller Genuine Draft Player of the Game, Michael Jordan. And on behalf of Michael, NBC and Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Playing with the jam toe, 26 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocked shots. Fortunate for the Lakers, he wasn't healthy. Lakers made a couple of changes. Tony Smith, a rookie from Marquette, has come on for the first time. Pippen able to deflect it. Down to a minute 23 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Bulls lead the Lakers 93-79, and Smith will inbound. Lakers turn it over.
That's just what the Bulls do, is make you hurry and do all the small things. They don't let you complete, catch easy passes, or get easy looks at the